Oh yeah. No, but like I was saying, how nostalgic, how fast does it bring you back to your childhood? You know, before you got in the van, before you were impressed what happened with Uncle Jimmy, you know.
I might have it, Uncle Jimmy. Yeah, Nintendo for sure.
A fucking dog.
For sure. For sure. For the old
even
ones.
Sega. Oh, come on, even Sega.
I mean the cartridge-based old ones, yeah, for sure.
I don't know, though, man. PlayStation 2?
PlayStation 1.
Yeah, PlayStation 1.
You can't beat that.
PlayStation 1, the intro.
PlayStation 2 is kind of like where it kind of leans either way. I'm like, well, if I had an emulator with the PS2 games on it, and it was really well done, like, I really wouldn't. Because once you get into the disc era, that's when it started to kind of lose its charm.
Yeah.
At least to me, anyway. Except for PlayStation 1.
I don't know.
Maybe
Switch brought it back.
Sega Dreamcast, too.
Sega Dreamcast was all, yeah.
That was one that was way ahead of its time.
Way too far ahead of its time. But the Switch brought it back. They got the little, like, SD cards, so every now and again.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, it's working. I'm not joking. It's fucking awesome. Kids these days will never know. I'm lightheaded.
Do you still have...
I still get first turn.
I still have my Nintendo.
So do I.
Still have... Actually, there's a 64 right there.
I still have mine, too. I have my Dreamcast, too.
I have the Dreamcast.
Oh, yeah,
I never did. I played a friend of mine years ago. Actually, he's another one that passed away, but that was years ago. He had the Dreamcast, but he was one of those guys that his parents made good money. At least it seemed to make good money.
So you were like the scummy friend, they never had you over?
Well, they always had...
I mean, that's what always happened to me.
They always had, like...
The next best
like
thing.
Sega Saturn, Sega CD, and all those. Like, I don't even know.
Oh! Sorry, God.
Like, all those. I remember going over to him, and his brother, his older brother, had... I think it must have been Sega CD. And they were playing this Jurassic Park game. And at that time, Jurassic Park was, like, the hottest thing. So it was, like, 93, 94.
95-ish.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And it was the point-and-click one.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm watching it being played. I'm like, wow, the graphics look incredible, but what do you do? Like, there's no like platforms. You're not jumping. You're not shooting anything. You're not running away. You're just you're clicking with a mouse and an arrow.
It was a point and click gamer. It was a point and click game.
I suppose it has its fans.
Speaking of which,
me not being one of them, but
speaking of which, I got a little fun fact I just learned recently.
All right.
Well, two things. One, I'll tell you about my cousin. So I have a cousin down...
It's a fun fact.
DC.
I have a cousin.
Visited him just recently.
Right.
In his basement. I saw the box.
You visited him in his basement? Hey, come on over.
I got a tour
Come
of
down
the
the
house.
basement. See if you can chase me.
I got a tour around the house. In the basement.
Wait. Did the tour start in the basement?
No.
Hey, you want to see my house? Let's go in the basement.
On his shelf, he's got like nice shelving like that and shit. There's like a bunch of them.
That's not really nice. This is like
original box, and the box was in good shape.
Right.
32X.
Really? That's weird.
And it worked.
32X is garbage.
Fuck you.
Oh, I have great memories with it.
So do I. I was
But
gonna say.
as a system, it's garbage.
No,
it was complete.
Okay. Today's standards, yes, it's shit.
Oh no!
Back
I
then,
mean, what it was and what it was for It was just meant to keep the Sega alive.
It did.
Keeping up with Super Nintendo and going before Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, what do we do? Just keep at, what is it? Angry Video Game Nerd. And he said it best. It's like, look, he had the Sega CD connected to the Sega and the 32X in it. He goes, look at this thing on life support. It's pathetic or something along those lines. And it's true because that's what it was.
Yep.
And the amount of games you had. And then they had, he brought up, it's like they had the Sega CD 32X.
Yeah.
Like you had to have fucking both of the extensions for the Sega.
Yeah. Sega knew how to do it. They did a good job, though. No, but so it still worked. He had the Sega Master System.
Did you play Primal Rage on it? That's the first time I played Primal Rage on 32X.
Yep. That's where I discovered
What
the
is
game.
this? It's like Mortal Kombat,
Except
but it's got monsters or dinosaurs anyway.
it's cool.
Yeah, it was
So-
incredible.
Let me ask you a question. Who is the first playable female character you can remember?
Peach from Mario 2.
Even before that, surprisingly, you're gonna laugh.
that I can remember. I think that's the first one I remember, like the earliest. And what was that? 88. It must have been 87 or 88.
88.
At least America's Mario 2.
Yeah.
Which is some other Japanese game that they just reskinned.
Well, people will sit there and cite Samus Aran, Metroid.
All right. Oh, yeah.
1985.
Okay.
On the Nintendo.
Actually, no, you can't. That's right. If you go all the way back to Halloween, an Atari 2600, you played as the babysitter.
Even before that.
Or I guess Laurie Strode. If you want to look at the 16 boxes or
Atari
pixels.
2600, 1982. Billy Sue is the girl's name in a game called Wabbit. Wabbit. First playable female character ever.
Is there merit
Human.
to that?
Human. Yes, there is merit to it because I researched it. Because I actually got into an argument. They're like, no. What did they say? They said something stupid.
Wrong, Scarlet. Brawlhalla.
No, they said something.
Was years later.
They said
Decades
something.
later.
What did they say? They said something stupid, like Laura Croft or something like. No,
Well, that's right.
No. Oh, the first majorly powerful. No. Like, well, she was no.
What about wasn't there a Supergirl game? I'm sure there was.
What?
Supergirl?
I don't fucking
On Super Nintendo? Or that probably would have gone on
after
Game
eventually.
Boy.
But still, you mean Game
not
Boy?
gonna-
You mean Game Boy Girl?
It's the woke version. Fuck.
Oh God! Speaking of woke versions, I saw the live action of Pinocchio tonight.
Oh, God. All right. On Disney? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tom Hanks plays Geppetto. They make fun of TikTok. They do. There's a TikTok pun.
Well, that's...
There's a fucking TikTok pun in Pinocchio.
Well, you've made it as a business when Disney,
Yep. Literally all the clocks are going off. And then there's one, and it's a guy coming out, and he's got the 3 X's on the moonshine jug. Tom Hanks playing Geppetto goes, you talk too much, with a TikTok. You get it? The TikToks that talk too much.
On TikTok, there's a lot of people that have tics on TikTok. They're developing tics on TikTok, and it actually is real neurological disorders that they fooled their body into thinking they have.
God.
All the girls that have the tics, someone went and looked at someone went and looked at them, and all these girls have the exact same tic because I see it on TikTok. Well, it's not so much them acting, it's them being so such a hypochondriac that they fooled their nervous system into having these same tics. So TikTok is giving you mental disorders.
Oh.
Well, neurological disorders, I guess.
Okay. So, TikTok does make me want to play with my boobs.
Anyway, yeah, that's neurological.
What did I know? Actually,
Whoa.
seriously, what was I doing? Where was I? I walked into somewhere. Fuck. I was doing this look. I actually got, I could play with my nipples.
Oh, God.
And Crystal looks back at me. I'm like, fuck you. And I walked away. Don't judge me. So, yeah, the blue, which, cool, whatever. Not a major part. I get it. That's fine. Blue Fairy is now a black woman, which is cool. Whatever. Not a major role anyway.
All right.
She's a key figure in getting Pinocchio alive. But here's the fucking problem. Near the end of the movie, they change a few things. They
pretty Disney-esque.
They definitely go
especially in the last 5
hard into the human trafficking. Pleasure Island.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the
Island of Misfit Toys.
they definitely hyper focus on that.
Which is funny because probably a whole bunch of execs in Disney were at Epstein Island.
Well,
you guys remember the good old days when we could go on vacation?
and I'm not saying I have a problem with it, but they changed the story.
Epstein Island?
No, not that. I'm not saying I have a problem with it, but where in Pinocchio do you remember him dancing and befriending another puppet?
Well, one, you're asking the wrong person. That's pretty much my only one.
So in the
I haven't seen that movie in probably 3 decades.
In the
anyway.
original movie,
I don't recall. Doesn't mean
Pinocchio
it didn't
gets
happen.
tricked into going to Stromboli's with the fox and the cat.
Right.
You know, hey, the actor's life for me. Ooh. And they say the word gay.
Whoa.
They straight up say the word gay in it.
Shocker, Disney. Look at Lightyear. In Lightyear, they had gay characters or something like that. That was like a whole spiel
Yes.
when Lightyear came out.
Yes.
Was Buzz gay or not?
No,
Buzz is gay with Woody. Everyone knows it.
Oh, that's another one too.
Oh God.
In the movie, Geppetto, being played by Tom Hanks, he makes all the clocks. When all the clocks go off, they're like hitting everyone. Woody comes out, Maleficent, Snow White. There's a bunch of them.
Iron Man.
No, I don't know if I
Wait a
saw.
minute.
I'll have to pause and check. But there's like so many.
It's all Disney property.
All Disney movies turned into
But you know what?
Cuckoo clocks.
They've done that in a lot of movies.
Before I forget,
All right.
really quick. Never in the cartoon movie do you see Pinocchio befriend another person.
Right.
Well, in this one, a black or Hispanic girl has a disability, a deformity or something like that. She's wearing a cast.
How long?
And she befriends Pinocchio with the marionette puppet.
Right.
And through triumph and struggle and
Disney.
She realizes her potential. But she's never truly healed because she still has the cast on her leg. So I was like, oh, okay. Which is cool, I guess. But don't change the story around.
No.
And Monstro isn't a whale anymore, a giant whale.
No?
Nope, he's a giant whale monster. He's got like tentacles and shit.
Well, all right.
Monster teeth. He's got an entire pirates.
Not just a floating whale. A whale.
He's got,
a whale bird.
He's got like a giant pirate ship mast and all in his mouth.
In his mouth?
Yep.
He's become the Black Pearl.
The Kraken.
Yeah.
No, he's the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah. I am the Flying Dutchman.
You're good. You're good.
I just thought of that reference at work last week. They have you seen, talk about woke Disney, have you seen She-Hulk?
No,
No.
not yet.
That one is entertaining, but there are a lot of little things in it. It's not jarring things, but there are a lot of little things in it where you're like, come on. One of the biggest, most jarring to me, anyway, if you're just watching it loosely, you probably wouldn't pick up on it. But something I saw, because the scene was like literally a few minutes before the scene I'm going to talk about. And it's not really a super spoiler, but when she gets her powers from Bruce, they're talking about, like, Bruce is trying to explain how to deal with it and everything. And, you're going to have anger problems. And I've actually, over the years, last decade or whatever, he has this book, this binder of, like, step by step, basically, how to deal with being a Hulk monster. So he gives it to her, and there's this whole section on dealing with the anger issues. All right. Well, she goes off on the spiel about, like, I've been catcalled and have men tell me how to do my job at work and this and that. And, I have to basically fear for my life on a daily basis. So I think I know how to deal with my anger infinitely more than you do. Okay. Now, just right there, your reaction is pretty much, I think most people's reaction, that at least kind of went like, fuck out of here. Stop that. Here's the kicker, though. Literally 4 or 5 minutes before that scene, there's a scene right when she becomes the Hulk monster, She-Hulk. She's walking out of a bar, and there's a couple guys that catcall her. She turns around and, like, kind of casually brushes them off, and then they keep going at it. She turns around, and she's just about to kill them. Like, she turns into the Hulk monster, but then gets taken out by Bruce Banner, the Hulk. And, like, that's, like, it takes her away or whatever. So, and then...
Don't mansplain me how to be a She-Hulk.
Again... Minutes later, she's saying, I'm infinitely better than you at controlling my anger. You couldn't even handle a couple of guys who are like, hey, baby, and you were going to kill him. And then you go off, so I'm better than you. It's like, Disney, do you watch your own shit? Do you know, like, what you're doing here?
This makes sense. Let's direct it on the fly. Jesus.
I haven't seen the latest episode. And then added on to that, which I thought was special. Again, they're trying to go for, like, female empowerment and all that kind of stuff. That's a Disney thing. Whatever. the end of, I think it was episode 3. Yeah, it was episode 3. They have, I can't remember, it looks like someone that looks like Nicki Minaj or whatever. I don't know any fucking artists nowadays, but it's not her, but it looks something like her. And they're twerking. She-Hulk is twerking in her office with her. I'm like, what fucking message are you trying to push here? You're like pushing both sides of the agenda. Like, but it's like, oh, I'm going to straddle the line and just snail trail my way across the line.
Straddle.
Like,
all right, let's be honest though. Smash or pass?
Smash, and then probably die.
She can Hulk smash my genitals with snoo.
She-Hulk, as long as she's in the She-Hulk form. I don't really think she's that attractive in human form.
That's definitely death by snoo.
Then I'm going to have She-Hulk monkeypox.
Futurama. Bender.
I love Bender.
Death by snoo. Yay! Oh, what are you, gay? You know they're revamping it? Matt Groening's going to be on.
Have you?
But it's going to be Matt Groening from the beginning. No, he's going to take it over and
so
do
he's
it.
got control.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Have you watched either the Beavis and Butthead, the movie, or and the show?
Yeah.
All right, so you can appreciate it's. I tell people, you know how a lot of times they revamp old shows. And you have your hopes because you have nostalgia, but then you watch it, you're like, eh.
You settle.
I don't even settle. I just don't watch. Like Ren and Stimpy, I watched one episode and I was already done. I was like,
when Spike took it over?
When they went way too far.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was funny when it was innuendos and it just stayed there. But, like, when Spike took it over, like, let's go the whole adult route. And, like, you fucking ruined it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's some things that you just don't. So, I was cautiously optimistic with Beavis and Butthead. And the movie was fucking hilarious. Yeah. The white privilege whole scene, like, yeah, it's like they were born for this.
It's so great.
But then the show came out.
Yeah.
And again, I was cautiously optimistic. I'm like, okay, the movie's one thing because they have a lot, they have all these years, these ideas, but then you got to keep up with the show. So I watched the show, and I haven't caught up since episode 4.
Yeah.
Busy. But I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, and boy, it holds up. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Mike Judge.
The old ones hold up, but the new one is awesome because. Go ahead.
Mike Judge is doing it.
Yeah.
And Mike Judge, he's like, fuck all of it. I don't care if you're Trump. I don't care if you're Biden. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white, Asian, Hispanic, male, female, gay, transgender. Doesn't fucking matter. I am having fun with this.
What I like is not only when they have their skits.
Yeah.
Like the story arc in each episode, and then they break it up with a riff of a music video.
Yep.
But not only music videos, because it's 2022.
They're doing current event news articles.
Well, they also do viral videos on TikTok and YouTube. They do things like that, and the ASMR.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious. It's awesome.
So good. Please watch it.
Yeah.
Please.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna go watch them again now.
I can't. Oh, really.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
Going back to the whole woke Disney and Pinocchio, whatever.
Yeah, it's just if you take out all the extra stuff, it wasn't too bad.
Oh, Pinocchio?
Yeah, I won't say it was a great movie because they almost pissed me off. Like, really fucking said, I will never recommend this or watch this movie again. At the end, Jiminy Cricket's narrating to the camera, and he goes, the story's been told many different ways over the times, and does he ever really turn into a boy? You never know, but in his heart, he's as real as a boy as he was ever gonna be.
Oh, come on.
Then at the last split second, you see the back of his knees go from the wooden joints to human skin.
Oh.
I was like, okay, all right. I was gonna fucking.
If they stayed at that, to me, that just speaks to the whole crowd of gender identity. I feel like.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much what it was anyway, but.
Well, he never smoked a cigar.
Disney, well, of course not. They're not going to do that now.
They did in the cartoon.
In the cartoon, but that was what, 1832?
Yeah, and apparently Mermaid. Oh, did you hear about that one too? Look up pictures of that Little Mermaid live action. She's black with dreads that are colored red. And you could tell.
I think I did hear something else too.
I mean, good on them.
I'll remember it next week.
If they can pull it off, great. Good on them. Honestly, I'm gonna check it out.
I honestly, I don't really care for checking out any of these. Anytime I see something they're revamping, that's one thing they're fucking revamping. I just saw yesterday, Never Ending Story. Disney is redoing Never Ending Story. I saw that. I was like, wow. Now you're just shitting all over the 80s now, huh? Well, so we tarnished the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Let's fucking mushroom tip stamp the 80s. Yep. Never Ending Story. Now, if they want to remake 2, by all means. Like, why don't you just skip past the first one?
Yeah, the first one was good.
In fact, do Return to Oz, too. Yeah. You can redo that one, too. That was more terrifying than anything. Yeah, you redo that one, too. That needs it.
Oh, shit. Speaking of Epstein Island.
Yeah, I can't really segue.
I think that's what the
all. This is probably.
I think that was the biggest pun. Because as soon as I saw the flyer for Pleasure Island, I'm like, huh. And all this goes, oh, that's great. That's what kids really need to see. A live action film about a bunch of kids going to an island called Pleasure Island with an adult man.
Look at all those almonds.
I was like,
almonds and hot dogs.
What?
We got 10,000 hot dogs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is a 90-degree.
Oh, it's fine.
Hard segue, but today is 9/11.
Yes, it is.
21 years ago. And a
true American travesty.
Yeah. That was actually a bad time in America, where this is just a bunch of bullshit and everyone's arguing back and forth. But
yeah,
makes for good entertainment.
The domestic terrorist attack, of January 6th.
Not even that. Just parents did you ever pissed off at school boards and they're considered domestic terrorists or on a watch list.
Did you ever hear about that? When I forgot, I think you pointed it out to me. No, I don't know. There was a person who made a comment, a political figure or like a political influencey figure. They were like, these catastrophic events like 9/11, January 6th.
Oh yeah, we talked about a show months ago. Yeah, it was Biden. It was Biden that was actually talking about we've had these whatever tragic events in American history, and it was like World War II, Vietnam or whatever, 9/11, January 6th. I'm like, what? Which one does not belong?
Did 2,000 plus people die on January 6th? No. Did you ever see the Vietnam Wall there, Joe Biden?
I think 3 people died, one as a direct result, and it wasn't even due.
Well, there was the people that were jumping out of the buildings.
No. I'm not talking. I'm talking about January 6th.
January 6th, yeah. Sorry.
No, there was like 5,000 something. Or no, was it 2,900?
It was 2+. I know that.
2,000.
Well, yeah, you're right, Joe. Let's not go see the Vietnam the Wall Memorial, which, did you know, has 58,318 names on it? Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, January 6th.
I'm sorry, Left. You guys are right. That was probably the worst in America.
Don't tell the left they're right. They'll freak out and fucking...
Yeah, Left. You're right.
You're right. We got to go further.
He just called us right.
Yeah, so they anyway, going way back. Yeah, so this is 21 years ago.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And,
a true American travesty, a very dark time in our history that we were alive to see.
Yeah. Do you remember where you were?
Oh,
it's one of those things like the Gen X?
Yeah.
In the 50s, 60s, or the baby boomers.
Baby boomers.
Or they remember where they were for Kennedy being assassinated.
Yep.
Well, that was ours.
What was the Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
That was 1945.
That's theirs.
Yeah.
That's theirs. Do you remember where you were when Fat Boy was dropped? That's theirs.
Did I send you the meme? I know I've shown it to people. It's like, Japan was part of... Oh, what the hell was it? Was it Japan was part of like one... Oh, I can't even remember what it was. Maybe I have it saved.
It's all right.
I don't know. I'll look for it. But our show wouldn't be our show. Anyway, going back to 9/11. if we didn't mention the conspiracies around it.
Oh, yeah.
And probably the biggest, most popular one is the Building 7. Or one of the biggest, anyway. Building 7. When
they announced it got hit before it got hit?
Well, they announced it went down on BBC before it actually went down.
Yeah.
It was on BBC. It was it a half hour before
It was
went down?
not just a minute or two. It was like...
The Tower 1, maybe it was hours, but the Tower... Oh, no, Building 7 went down, I think, like 7 hours after Tower 1. Tower 1 went down at 10... I have it written down. Tower 1 went down at 10:28 a.m.
And
Building 7 fell at 5:20 p.m. BBC did an international broadcast. I'm sure most people that are listening to this right now already have heard this, but just as a 21-year refresher, BBC did an international broadcast, and the news anchor, she was talking about how the towers had fallen, and just basically like first responders, what they were doing, like the chaos and everything. And they said Tower 7 also has collapsed. Not only did it not collapse yet, it was in the background of the broadcast. So they were broadcasting saying Tower 7 has fallen, and there it was back there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big conspiracy. And that's where a lot of people like Jesse Ventura was like, how do we know this wasn't like staged? The stage thing didn't come from the Tower 7 so much as it did from... That was controlled demolition. That's what a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah.
That's where that came from. The staged idea was an August 3rd or 4th, or maybe 6th. One of those. The first week of August, there was a memo that Condoleezza Rice had that said Bin Laden was to hijack American planes and fly them into a number of targets on American soil. That was a month before it actually happened, and nothing was done about it.
You hear much about that today?
9/11? No, but I also haven't really been on a lot of social media today, so
I was asking for that reason because I haven't either.
It is on mine. I went on my TikTok about an hour before you got here, just to cruise around. But my algorithms, fucking news and shit. So, and wrestling lately, because the last podcast I did with Rich, we were talking about wrestling. So a lot of the videos I went up was tagged. I was tagging wrestling stuff. So now it's a lot of wrestling moved in. So now I gotta shift my algorithm back to like, but yeah, it did have a lot of 9/11 stuff in it.
I'll say I haven't really paid. I haven't really been on much social media today either, or much live television.
No, we were outside.
Oh yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't see much or hear much over the radio today either.
No, but yeah, and again, I haven't listened to. I barely listen to radio, but I haven't been on radio, TV, or like social media or anything.
Yeah.
So out of 9/11 came the Patriot Act.
Yeah, you take a minute. You want to take like a few seconds silence for that?
All right.
A moment of silence. You know what I mean? For 9/11.
Oh. Do you tell me a secret?
No, let's take a moment of silence.
Okay, a moment of silence. That Edward Snowden blew open. The Patriot Act.
Yes, I remember that.
So the Patriot Act came out.
Yeah, because I learned about who he was because of you.
Yeah. The Patriot Act came out, which not only enabled the government to start spying on its own civilians, which is fucking dangerous, and a lot of people, like the old school conspiracy theorists, Snowden or Jones and David Icke and all those guys back then were screaming about. And back then, conspiracy theorists were like few and far in between, and they were really the crackpots. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Literally, the guys in the street screaming, "The world is coming to an end with a tinfoil hat and
the end is nigh." And
one shoe and a bottle, a brown bag bottle in their back pocket.
And that's really what everyone looked at all of them like.
Yep.
Now, not so much. And now it's pretty much every third person. You're like, well, there are a lot of shit that doesn't make sense, but which is good. Questioning. Sometimes people question and then just kind of go off on a internet tangent and be like, I think this is real, flat earth. Like, listen, anyway.
South Park did it best. Carmen portrayed Kyle's face in the Twin Towers of the cloud of smoke, like attacking it. The Jews caused 9/11. You see Kyle's face in the clouds. It's like, oh my God.
Not only did it enable the government to spy on its own civilians, but it also did something interesting, which kind of reminds me of this. There's an episode of Twilight Zone that did something like this. It allowed, or it kind of made okay for civilians to spy on their neighbors. That's where the whole "if you see something, say something" came from.
Yep.
Well, that came out, and then what came of that was like a lot of neighbors are like, I don't know this guy. But now it's going even further. If your political affiliation isn't the same as like fucking people
Red
that
flag.
are centrist or right-leaning centrist or just left-leaning or whatever, central centrist.
Central.
You're right. I'm right. Everyone's right, and we're all fascist. At least to the woke cult. So now it's just gone from that to this crazy extreme where, it's tell on your neighbor.
Red flag law.
But then, yeah, again, Edward Snowden blew that open in, 2012 or 2013?
Yeah, he's still not in the country.
No, he won't be. Unless he's exonerated. As soon as he comes in, he'll be prosecuted.
Oh, yeah.
For espionage. He won't. Or for, espionage and
treason?
something else.
Something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucked up. And he's done interviews. I've seen a few of them.
Yeah, he was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
I think
I won't-
at least once. Maybe a few times, but he's been on Joe Rogan. He's been on a whole bunch. He's talked to Russell Brand. He's talked to a whole bunch of people. But yeah, he won't be in the States.
Ever.
And not any EU place either. Queen Elizabeth also. She died. Which, the reaction to that's been interesting.
Have you ever seen the movie Megamind?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
There's a scene when the superhero that Megamind creates. I saw it was a fucked up TikTok. I'm sorry, England. I'm sorry in advance. There's a scene where
Oh boy.
on TikTok where Jonah Hill plays Titan is his name. He's a superhero that Mega Man creates because Megamind is the villain, and he has to fight a hero.
Right.
That's what he's missing in life. So he creates Titan, trains him up, ends up being a villain himself. Titan ends up being a villain. Well, he kidnaps the girl, something Roseanne Roxbury or something like that. And he goes, there is no, he goes, life is full of bad things. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Santa Claus, and there is no Queen of England. I saw the TikTok and it's like, someone put up the first time we can actually say this and it be true. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Santa, and there is no Queen of England. I'm like,
Ah, now it's true.
oh, that's fucked up.
She was old when we were born.
Yeah.
She was old when we were born.
Well, of course, the conspiracy theorists are going fucking crazy. There's already like people
geez.
in the '90s, like look at the reflection of her in the mirror. Look at her. Look at the queen that was in the position now. Totally not the same person.
Well, they did that with Joe Biden too.
Yeah.
So, but she took 70 plus years ago. She was 96. So she went through World War II.
Vietnam.
Like shortly after she sat through 14 or met 14 United States presidents. There was
I'm not even gonna bother knowing your name. I'll just get used to the next
there's a picture of her in like 93 or 91 firing some rifle. I don't know what the rifle was with the military. It's like an assault rifle. I was like, that's an awesome picture. You won't see Biden doing that. Biden would be one of the ones where he's got the butt of the gun like up on his shoulder, like a rocket launcher. What do I do with it?
Do I look where the bullet goes?
Yes. Kidding, no.
Or are we? Kidding.
After she died, though, the woke liberals, the left. You got it. The fucking left is like The View. The View is the TV version of the left, obviously. Woke liberals attack Queen Elizabeth hours after her passing. And why wouldn't they attack her? In case you haven't read, which I presume you have, Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning British monarch of over 70 years, passed away on Thursday afternoon in 96. Most onlookers and world leaders offered words of respect and admiration for the Queen and her steady hand on the throne for decades, but some weren't quite as friendly in their thoughts and wishes. It didn't take long for liberal opinion writers from the New York Times, the Atlantic, and the New York Magazine to begin dancing on her grave just hours after her death was announced. One Pennsylvania professor even said she hoped the Queen's final hours of pain would be excruciating. He added, quote, "You can't be a liberal oppressor and not expect the people you've oppressed not to rejoice on news of your death," end quote.
Wow.
In the New York Times, Maya Janssenoff, a history professor at Harvard University, where she focuses on the history of Britain and the British Empire, said it was wrong to romanticize her reign. Quote, "The Queen helped obscure a bloody history of decolonization whose proportions and legacies have yet to be adequately acknowledged," she wrote. And it just goes on and on and on. A whole bunch of different people just writing shit like this. Most of it was, yeah. Anya wrote, "I heard the chief monarch of a thieving, raping, genocidal empire is finally dying. May her pain be excruciating." That's the one we were talking about before.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, all right. I can't stand the administration that's in power right now.
Yeah.
Biden, like Harris, Kamala. But they are people. Like, I don't wish death on any of them. Because I would like to imagine they all go home to families. I think their view is horribly skewed.
Well,
I think their ideas of what's good or bad, be it for their interest or what they think is ours, is awful. But I wouldn't wish death on them. Unless I find out that the COVID vaccines and all this shit, they knew all along that all of it was horrible. And they knew what they were doing was complete and utter bullshit. And they were perpetrating a lie to all the American people. Now, I know that's not true. What are you laughing at?
I'm not.
But anyway, in all seriousness.
I'm not laughing.
In all seriousness.
The government would never lie to us.
In all seriousness, I wouldn't wish death on them.
No.
But yeah, so the left going all out.
Wow.
Right after she dies.
What did President Biden say?
I don't know. Actually, I did hear something that, like, I think it was, I was listening to Ben Shapiro or something like that, and he was talking about something that Biden said. Of course, Shapiro did it in kind of a snarky way because, obviously Shapiro doesn't like Biden, but...
No.
But, I mean, everyone gave their respects. Obviously not the woke, but everyone else gave their respects.
That's fucked up.
Left, right, center, up, down, whatever. Whole day start.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Really. Like, get over yourselves for 5 fucking minutes. What do you think? What I would like to say? I really wish. I really hope I get to live to see 100. Honestly, because I want to hear. Excuse me.
At least of sound mind.
I want to be of sound body and mind in 2084, so that I can hear and comprehend what the future generations will be saying about us now.
Maybe by then we'll be able to download our consciousness into a computer.
That would be something.
It would be something. I don't know if I'd do it though. There's a lot of questions that go. It's like, man, do you go for immortality? I don't know. It's a weird thought.
Go to a virtual network? Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, going back for Biden.
I'm a video game.
Let's see. Man, you remember the show Video Arcade, Nickelodeon Video Arcade?
Yep.
That could be you. No green screen required. Except you could feel everything.
I would so love it.
Ah, God, it burns.
First game I would play is Pitfall. Oregon Trail next. This is what dysentery is. Okay.
Horrible. I played Math Blasters. I'm like at Macintosh back in 1989.
God of War. So I could bang Aphrodite and become Ares. That's what I would do. Probably not. Red Dead Redemption 2. I would, yeah, definitely.
Would you be Arthur? Oh, you're
I
gonna
don't care.
die.
I'll die again and again and
Well,
again.
no matter who you are in the game, you're gonna die. Unless
John
you're the
Marston.
asshole.
John Marston. Dutch, yeah.
Yeah. John died.
In 1.
Yeah.
But not in 2.
Still got shot up. Which way to go? I don't know. That'd be worse. I think getting shot up and just open the door.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
That is a hard one. Undead Nightmare.
I love that.
Yes. That John I will definitely be.
I love the Undead Nightmare.
That was good.
That's
man.
how I got into the whole series.
Yep. I remember.
The whole series, I got into Undead Nightmare. And then they had like the 4 Horse of the Apocalypse. They had a bunch of cryptid animals like the Chupacabra and Bigfoot and everything. All those side missions. Like, this is great.
Ah, good game.
You know what else is a good game?
What?
Remember Red Faction?
Yep.
All right. You remember the villain in Red Faction?
Mm-hmm.
Victor Sopot, the Chancellor? Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what he looked like? Or rather, you know who looked like Victor?
Who?
Biden during his fucking last speech to the nation with the red backdrop.
Yes.
And shit. That's the first thing I thought of. Was like, this guy looks like fucking Chancellor Sopot. I mean, Sopot had like the mustache and like he looked like M. Bison from the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah. No. Oh, I was thinking of Zangief. You're right.
Yeah, he looked like him. But the first image in my head was Red Faction 2 and Victor Sopot, Chancellor Sopot. I'm like, what the fuck kind of like communist, crazy ass like dictatorship is this?
And the whole purpose of that speech was pretty fucked up too.
Yeah, the whole speech was an us versus them. Like the whole thing was us versus them. Like, wow, and he's talking about not all the Republicans are MAGA Republicans. Like MAGA Republicans are the most evil thing in the world. Like, and I've met a lot of MAGA Republicans. I mean, obviously there are a lot in this area. None of them really seem that evil to me.
No.
I know the left. Someone on the left is going to see this, but that's because you're fucking evil. So, all right, well, fuck me, I guess. But that speech was something else. A very us versus them.
Yep. Very Captain America Civil War initiating.
What think tank in that administration came up with the idea, hey, let's have this brick background, red lighting, and black, very little light colors, and then have Biden stand up there and have the military standing back there, like their arm, and like, well, we're the arms of this administration, and a couple Marines standing back there, like, we'll fuck you up. And then there's the one still with Biden, like, wow. Somebody had to think this through and be like, listen, could we have like a blue background, like something a little cooler, like, you know,
something a little more left orientated.
Yeah, but they have red, which is right. One and two. You think?
Let me grab that water bottle while I'm watching this speech.
Yeah, easy like the Soviet Union. I should put another fan up there. Right up in that area up there. Yes! Good idea!
So fucked up. This is getting shadow banned.
Yeah, I've been shadow banned enough. Whatever.
I mean, TikTok's definitely watching our comment, our message board stream now.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
yesterday,
get ready for a humdinger, folks at home. This one's a real zippity doo dah tale.
I probably can't even say it on YouTube without getting fucking.
So
it rhymes with bum, but starts with C.
See you monthly.
Yeah. All right. So you can't. You can't.
You could
text that.
I got this.
All right.
You could say some really demonic, like diabolical shit. Like you could talk about ejaculation on corpses of royalty that have just recently passed away. You could say in detail with very lewd remarks wise, you can say that. But if you say the word "see you monthly," it doesn't allow you to send it.
Yeah,
it says it has violated the community guidelines or some shit.
So, texting CUM says this message violated our community guidelines. We restrict certain content of actions to protect our community. If you believe this was a mistake, tap feedback, blah, blah, blah. So immediately I said, okay, pedophilia. So I put that down. Sent. No problem. My colleague here, I'm gonna fuck Queen Elizabeth in the ass. Fine. Semen. Fine. Jizz. Fine. Man juice. That's okay. And then he goes on. Again, this is a joke. I'm gonna fuck Queen Elizabeth's dead corpse and cover her with my semen ejaculate. Fine. Coming. Going. But not spelled the same. That's fine. 2 M's, not 1. That's fine.
See you monthly is acceptable. But see you monthly
cunt,
is
pussy,
not.
slut, cum dumpster. They're all fine. You can send all that. But pussy. It's that other one.
Pussy. You can send pussy.
It's that other one. That's the bad one.
See you monthly is not allowed. And it doesn't matter in what context you try to send it. Like, I plan to see you monthly over to your house. Violates. Actually, no, we didn't try that. Let me try it right now.
You know what really chaps my ass? You can't send that. Fine. But then I've had audio strikes off videos of ours, which the one that really sticks out to me is the first one when I was literally talking about a charity softball game. And
no.
No.
You can't even use it in that text. I'm going to see you monthly over to your house. This message is violated. Fuck you, TikTok. And you can even send that. You can send fuck you, TikTok. Fuck you, TikTok. I hope you burn in hell. I hope you get raped by demons. That's okay to send.
They'll probably bleep that. They'll probably strike that and be like, oh, that's inciting violence.
Well, let's find out.
But... yeah, so they struck the audio off a video of me talking about a charity softball game. A first responders versus coaches charity softball game. They took the audio, said it was a copyright strike or something. Okay, I don't understand that one. Still don't get that one, but you can't see you monthly. That's you can't you can't do that one. That's where we draw the line. Yeah. So.
Oh. That one's sent.
Really?
Check your messages.
Can I read it? Probably not.
Sure, why not?
Oh, that's the one you just said.
Yeah.
You already said that here, so.
You can wish demonic, forceful penetration on TikTok in a message, but you cannot say see you monthly.
I don't understand. Nobody fucking understands TikTok's terms. Like, nobody fucking gets it. Anyway, going back.
Yeah.
So Biden claimed that the MAGA Republicans do not believe in constitutional law and is pushing for violence in order to get their way.
Really? Take to the streets. Hit them if we have to. Break this, do that. If I could, I would walk up and punch him in the face.
Mostly peaceful? It was mostly peaceful. That's okay. How many billions in damage? It doesn't matter. That doesn't. How many Republican riots do you remember in the last in the last 10 years?
Honestly, the only... All right, hold on. We got to specify. Do you mean like riots in general or like
Summer of Love 2020 riots?
No, none.
No. You want to know why? Because the right doesn't fucking riot. And I'll tell you why they don't riot. It's not because we're like, oh, we're such better people. It's because the right's fucking lazy when it comes to that shit. They don't protest, and we've said this before. The right doesn't fucking do shit like that.
Well, no,
when they want to push something, it takes so much for them to push. They'll be like, all right, just give them a little bit. Shut the fuck up. All right, just give them a little bit more. Shut the fuck up. That's the right
tact.
Yeah, that's the right's approach to problems.
It's not a good approach.
No, the left has a good approach, but they just fucking, give them an inch, take a fucking millennia. They're going to
try to take an inch. Let's murder their firstborn.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. You got a bit dark there, buddy.
That's basically what they do. They just go crazy. There's got to be a happy medium there. But the right doesn't protest. The fact that they're saying this, they use violence, fucking where?
The only thing I can say they have any merit on in that is during like the demonstrations when you had like the right gatherings, and left would gather, and then there would be some violence ensue. There'd be some like assault back and forth. There'd be some fights and shit, and things would get broken up and everything would get canceled.
Right.
But then the right was instantly pointed at for inciting it. Even though you got left and fucking dumbass and libs going at them, throwing bricks and fucking spraying them with mace and shit, and then they're at that point defending themselves.
He also said that they also refuse to believe in the results of a fair election 2020.
When hasn't there already been legal shit where they've like, all right, we've proven that there was falsifications of things here.
But beyond that, let's turn the clock back about 6 years to 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when that election was...
He sold the election. Russian influence.
Not my president. Does anyone fucking remember that?
I remember, oh my God. I remember, like, a chick wanting to punch me, and I said, please do, because you will prove everything I am saying. She got into an argument with me about him stealing the election. This, and that. He's not her president. Okay, well, then don't pay your taxes. Well, I have to. I'll go to jail. Well, no, you don't. You don't have to pay your taxes. Turn in your Social Security card. Well, then I can't do anything. Well, that Social Security card was founded on the principle of, of a government that is run by our current president.
Right.
Well, that doesn't mean it's my president. So turn in your Social Security card and you can go do whatever you want. This chick got wanted far left. She wanted to fight me, and I'm like, please do. Be my guest. You will have proven everything I'm stating here.
Yeah.
And all I did was ask her a question. Like, why isn't he your president?
That's really...
That's how it started.
And that's one of the first things I said when Biden won this last election. I made it a point to a couple of buddies at the warehouse when I worked there. I'm like, all right, maybe he does well. And I hope he did well. At the time, I was like...
We hoped. Everybody did.
I still hope he fucking... Maybe he has a turnaround. Probably not, but... I hope he did well, because you don't want to wish bad on our president. He's fucking leading the ship here. So I hope you fail. You're hoping for your own failure.
I hope your ship sinks. You're on the same boat.
You're out.
Fuck.
Maybe if I jump enough. But yeah, so he won. He won the election. And all right, well, let's see, and the rest is history. But I never went, not my president. I was like,
try that trend now. Try that trend now.
Yeah, not my president. No, don't, because don't be like the same bullshit from 2017.
Don't.
Yeah, because then
I'm sorry, I retract.
I've heard the right already do that, especially in the last year or so. They're like, "He's not my president." That's the same bullshit that the left was doing, and that a bunch of the right were in 2017 being like, you're crybaby, and it's like, well, he is your president. And it's like, or get the fuck out of the country. It's like, you can't go back and say the same shit after you defended it and went, well, get out of the country if you don't want to be the president.
Yep.
It's like, well, you better have your bags packed as well if you're going to say that shit and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he is your president. You don't have to like it. You don't have to sit here and be like, it's okay what he's doing. A battered wife syndrome.
But thankfully, till today, we still have the freedom to be able to sit there and not agree with shit that's going on. As of right now, we still have that right.
I'll be honest with you, though. That's in the back of my mind somewhere. I'm like,
how much longer do we still have? Yeah,
that's being attacked subtly. Maybe not so subtly now, but slowly. It really is. I mean, just
but the only hope I have is that, like you said, I don't wish ill will on our president. I do hope that
I feel
maybe
bad
at
for
some
him.
point in this current administration there will be a flick of a light switch and things will get better. But, excuse me, what I can genuinely say is, slowly but surely, and I'm not saying left, I'm not saying right, I've always been a centrist. I've always seen the good on both sides. I just think both parties have fucking terrible, terrible methods of dealing with their problems.
They don't deal with them. They use them as chess pieces.
In a way,
as
it's they're
ammo.
dealing with the situation.
Well, they'll take the issue, they'll politicize it, and then they'll use it as chess pieces to get back in office. We're going to fix this. You just got to get us in office. Then you get them in office, they're like,
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah. And oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Thank you. I'm thirsty.
But yeah, they use it as it's all chess pieces. They're not actually solving things. They're just using it as leverage for whatever they're trying to do. Water break.
Yeah, I was thirsty. Sorry. But what I was going to say was the point I was getting at is there's a lot of people, not a lot. There is a building of the number of people that are starting to see both left, right, and all of it, left, right, and centrist, that are starting to see a lot of the inconsistencies with what's going on.
Right.
Now, the number's not very big. The number's not up there at all.
I beg to differ. I would say a good third of the nation.
The influential majority is not there.
Oh, you're talking... they're not speaking up. We'll put it that way.
Because they can't.
Well, they can, but they don't want to lose that big buco dollar paycheck bullshit. There's a lot of people that go on Tim Pool's podcast that are outspoken conservative or classic libertarian, and they talk about how they have a lot of friends in Hollywood that come to them behind the scenes and low key and be like, oh, I agree with all this shit you're saying, but I can't say anything because if I do, you have all these sponsors and everything, you know, working for Disney or whoever else, be like, I can't say anything because I'll lose my shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot. Yeah.
Gina Serrano. I would smash.
I love Gina Carano.
I love her.
Love her.
Love her.
Mm-hmm.
Tag team. Eiffel Tower. Wobbly H. So, but yeah.
So he also was talking about his mention of banning assault weapons, and yeah, that was something he brought up. He goes to fight. He's talking about the right, and I was like, "You're not going to take our guns." The classic battle between left and right is like, we need to just we're not going to take them all. We just want to put a bunch of regulations on them, so it's fucking impossible to get them. And he says something about I've banned assault weapons before. I'm going to do it again. And then he was bringing up the Second Amendment. And I bring up the Second Amendment because something was brought to my attention earlier this week. Here. I need you to read the Second Amendment for me.
Verbatim. Amendment number 2. A well-regulated militia, comma, being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed.
Okay. That's from our Constitution.
Yes.
This is on whitehouse.gov. The Second Amendment gives citizens the right to bear arms, period. That's it.
The Second Amendment gives citizens the right to bear arms.
Nothing about militia. Nothing about...
Yeah.
whitehouse.gov.
Oh. So you know what that means.
Yeah.
That means you can bear arms, but you can't join a bunch of people in defending your country.
You can't organize. You can't stand up against your government. Maybe that's conspiracy theory.
Even though...
But boy, oh boy.
Well, let's read Amendment number 1, because what's the oldest argument in the book? Oh, the right to bear arms. What do people say? Well, I have the right...
Freedom of assembly.
No, hold on. I'll read hold on. We're going to read both in a minute. What's the biggest argument people would make about the problem with the right to bear arms?
Just the violence that comes along with it.
Well, when the founding fathers wrote it, you know, they didn't have magazines that shot 100 rounds. at high velocity, and they didn't have big calibers. Okay. First Amendment. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, comma, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, semicolon, or abridging the freedom of speech, comma, or of the press, comma, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, comma, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Mm-hmm.
What does that one say?
I got to bring it back up. Well, interesting question, though. So back to whitehouse.gov. I think it's pretty much the same thing. Provides that Congress make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise, period. It protects freedom of the speech, the press, assembly, and the right to petition the government for redress of grievances.
Founding fathers weren't thinking of they didn't imagine TikTok
Here's-
or Twitter or Facebook or MySpace, the popular one.
Here's the thing with the right to bear arms. They said a lot of people are arguing, especially like 10 years ago or so,
Yeah.
after Sandy Hook especially.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying when they wrote the Second Amendment, that was for hunting and things like that. But the thing with that, and this has been documented a lot by Jesse Ventura, he says, if you didn't hunt or fish, you didn't eat. So that had nothing to do with hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
At all. Like fishing, whatever, but hunting had nothing to do with that. So that was not put in there. It was put in specifically for the fact because the Brits came over here and they came out of a system with an oppressive government. They knew what the fuck that was about. So they designed a system where it would keep itself in check, checks and balances. So each branch would check the other branch so it wouldn't get crazy and overpowered and just take over everything.
And that's what
if
the right to bear
that all
arms was for.
failed, Second Amendment kicks in.
Where
the
the-
citizens can go, hold the fuck on. That's where it came from. I don't understand where anyone can argue that. It's, to me anyway, it's as clear as day. And I've only become a gun enthusiast in the last, year and a half, 2 years, whatever.
That's a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah. Before that, though, it was pretty fucking clear why it was there. You don't need to be a genius.
I remember reading more stuff than just that one, even. You know, against an oppressive, tyrannical government. And maybe that's in the Declaration of Independence. Let me see that.
It might be.
We the people and the Constitution. Constitution. I need the Declaration of Independence.
But yeah, so I really don't I don't see why. And someone brought this up too. They said, well, maybe it's just an abbreviated version of the Second Amendment. All right, fine. If it's an abbreviated version, fine, you can do that. But the problem I have with that is this is fucking whitehouse.gov. Like, shouldn't you have the actual definition? All right, go ahead.
First paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events, comma, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, comma, and to assume among the powers of the earth, comma, the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, comma, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind require that they should declare the cause which impel them to the separation. In our Declaration of Independence, we state that should the binds that keep us down become too oppressive, we have to stand up for it, against it.
And that's why there's 400 million firearms in the United States right now.
Go ahead, government.
300 to 400 million.
Go ahead, government.
And about 80
Did
million
we run the
registered-
numbers last time on an episode?
What, for?
About the money the government would lose if they actually banned,
I don't know if we ran...
if they disarmed the citizens?
Yeah, I don't know if we ran the numbers, but I know we talked about like how much money they would lose because, especially now if they're putting in all these taxes for ammo and everything, that's why we brought up there's no fucking way they're going to take weapons away because they would take such a hit, especially now when they're just fucking printing money left and right.
So 300 million. Let's say on a low end number, there's 300 million registered firearms in America.
Right.
Let's say
Yeah, we did run the number. I do remember that. Don't ask me what it was. You have to go back and look.
Watch the previous episode, please.
But I remember you sitting here and calculating. Like,
you're talking about $1 billion industry. $1 billion of free tax money. The government gets to go, ooh, I can take this and go to Epstein Island. I get the kitty special.
We get the variety pack with this.
$5 taco box. Mister, I don't even know you. Shut up.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, shit.
Yeah, but that's where they're going to get a lot of money. You're right, is from all that tax money.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're printing a whole bunch of fucking money left and right.
You know what?
$1 trillion
Holy
in debt
fuck.
we're in.
My conspiracy gears just started kicking.
On.
They started whirring at like fucking 700 horsepower. What if all this attacks on gun rights is an attempt to get all the gun-toting, red-blooded Americans that are going to go out there and buy a gun tomorrow to do exactly that. Spend their money while they fucking crank up the taxes. Oh, yeah, government, I still have the right to bear arms. You said I could. I'm going to go buy this $8,000 shotgun.
It could be. There was also something I thought of in regards to like cost and just the Second Amendment in general and how they usually, say, attack it with all the training and certifications and everything. The IRS has a video out of
Their training?
yeah, their training. Have you seen that? Where it looks like sloppy fucking people that work at Dunkin' Donuts and like just walking in like, everybody, like they're on a fucking field trip with police officers, but there's no police officers there, and they're walking in doing their shit. I saw that and be like, that's one, that's not threatening. Two, that's obviously brand new hires or people that have never handled firearms, or at least seemingly never handled firearms before. Just given, here's a gun, here's a vest, go do your shit. But then I thought, you know what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people that go, they need more training. That's going to be a problem. A lot of people that are gun-toting, whatever, redneck, fucking right, whatever you want to call them, they're going to be the ones that go, they need more fucking training. This is where your problem's coming from. Here's where that could fucking backfire, though. They released that video knowing that these people are going to say that. So they tighten training up. Here comes more certifications. Here comes more classes you have to do. Here comes more loopholes you have to jump through in order to get your firearm. I'm like, man, fuck, man, what? Or they didn't think of that and we just put it out there.
I'm going to do what exactly that one guy did for the ATF agent. IRS? Is that a gun on your hip? It's for my protection, sir. Okay, I'll get my tax information. Wait right here, closed door. Call
I got health issues. My wife's pregnant.
Yeah, there's a cracked out heroin addict on my front porch claiming to be an IRS agent waving a gun.
You know what else? I got to be careful with all
They're going to run.
It's awesome video. It's just short. Whatever.
It's so great.
It's funny. Some guy get tased and just goes fucking popsicle stick and falls over.
We got to recreate it on the show. I'll do it. I'll do it for science.
You do it. We start doing skits and just put them up as shorts on YouTube. I like that idea.
Like, so do I.
It's a good idea.
I'm not always going to be
We
able
got to
to
create our own counterculture. It has nothing to do with, well, I guess it would have to do with current events. We just do that.
We could do it easily.
I don't know that. Yeah, so IRS, whatever.
Yeah.
Biden student loan forgiveness.
All right, so there's a lot of going back and forth.
There is. And
There's a lot of people saying that they're under the impression, because a lot of the numbers that were ran, you know, if you make like 80 to 120, 120 plus, some of that, there are people that are seeing it in the light of,
I think it's 120 single and 250
if you
family?
make more or less.
More.
Yeah, then you can get student loan forgiveness.
No, it's got to be if you make less than 120 single. Or maybe that's a tax bracket. Never
Well,
mind.
that's where the confusion's coming from. Like, even I'm a little confused on it too, because I was under the impression at first when I first read, I'm like, wait a minute. If I make 120 by myself, I can get student loan forgiveness? Holy shit. I can make more money and not have to pay shit back. Awesome. But guess what? I don't make that much money, so I have to pay it back. That's bullshit. That's the rich getting richer.
No, I think
Or the rich staying richer.
Let me find the numbers here. It's a $10,000 debt cancellation or $20,000. The U.S. Department of Education will provide up to $20,000 in debt cancellation to Pell Grant recipients with loans held by the Department of Education, and up to $10,000 in debt cancellation to non-Pell Grant recipients. Borrowers are eligible for this relief if their individual income is less than $125,000 or $250,000 for households.
Yeah.
So it pretty much sums up probably 95% of the people that went to college.
Which, let's be honest, I don't see that as such... All right, you know what? I'm going to say it outright because I'm hesitating to say what I'm going to say because I feel like there are people out there that are going to attack me for the feeling that I have.
Dude, I get attacked by fucking people all the time.
I look at it this way. Is it really such a... Yes, I get it. These people borrowed money for an education, but guess what? It's not like they were out blowing the money. The people that justifiably used it, if you can validate how you used it... Like, come on. Back when we went to college, you heard of people getting like 5, 6, 7 grand in tuition. Mm-hmm. They only needed like 2 grand of it, and then they'd blow the other 3, 4 grand on bullshit.
Cocaine
Go after those fuckers.
The
people that didn't use that money for educational purposes.
Yes. My problem with it is, if I didn't go to college, and they came across to be like, all right, people that went to college are going to get their debt relief, whatever. I have a mixed feeling for the taxes that are going to be used because there's no free money and there's no free anything. The money's going to come from somewhere.
This is true.
They're either going to, the Federal Reserve is going to print it, which just skyrocket inflation, which I thought we were trying to knock that down, but whatever.
No, we had 0%, remember?
Yeah, that's right. It was, it's how stupid of me. July was a good month. Or they're going to use taxes to pay off the Department of Education, which is pretty much everybody that didn't go to college. So I have an issue with it. On the flip side, I'm like, well, at least I know where my tax money's going because there's a lot of money going in. But like, I thought this was for infrastructure. Where's the fucking infrastructure?
Well,
and hold on. And I would say, okay, well, at least it's going toward the future of the nation. Even though, again, I think the fucking college system, at least in the last 20-some years, is a huge fucking scam. A huge fucking
It's
scam.
a money pit.
It's such a scam. On top of that, I think my biggest personal gripe is I went to college and I paid it off like 5 years after I was out. It's been like, that's what I think.
I didn't expect that to be that loud.
So I paid it off. I worked, paid it all off, and now 10 years later, like this next person's going in and just getting 10 grand just handed to him. Like,
well, not handed to him. Yes, in essence.
It is handed to them. The 10 grand that they owed is now just getting handed to them basically, so they don't owe it anymore. The money just didn't. Well, apparently the money did materialize.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's not like they get it handed to them and be like, "Hey, you can spend this on whatever you want." The money they were supposed to pay out.
Is
if
not
you like,
gone.
if you went,
they don't owe it anymore.
Yeah, it's like if you went and bought a house and then someone's like, "You don't know anything on it." Like, so where'd the $75,000 go? Where'd the $120,000 go?
Yeah. See, but that's the thing. That's where it's like, and I'm gonna say it out, right? Fuck it. Validate it. Somebody like that. What was his name?
I don't know. What does he do?
He was the weird kid that always was barefoot. Remember him? Short glasses, would never wore shoes.
Oh, in college. I know.
Yes, him. He was like hardcore college. He talked about, remember? He's like, yeah, I got the rest of my tuition in my shoebox. It's like $4,000. I'm like, oh, you need help walking to your car? Let's go put that in your car where I know it's going to be safe. And when you don't come back and I buy everybody lunch that day, why the fuck? He was like, I don't get it. I'm like, why the fuck are you bragging about it, dumbass?
Yeah. That's someone who...
But he was somebody who took all of that money and flipped it back into the college. He's like, I can do this, I can do that. Yes, this is free money that the taxpayers got to pay for, but in the same breath, I'm going to actually use it what it's meant for. He's not somebody who took like, remember that real... the angry one that gave you the look because you almost went in the back door. She hung out with her. She was a little bit taller. She was a little bit taller than her.
It's a political discussion.
Yeah. She was a little... Do you remember the chick that came down a few times with her and her boyfriend at the time? She was a little bit taller, kind of looked like... almost like a more bony looking version of her, but a little bit taller. No. She didn't have as long as hair, and it wasn't as brunette as hers was, as your backdoor girl was. She came down a few times.
I don't know.
She was the one that took backdoor girl and her boyfriend.
Can we give her a different fucking name?
Nope. Angry look girl.
You know who you are.
She's watching this. You asshole.
She's fucking seething right now.
I'm going to take all the money I made from selling my vitamin supplements that are better than anything you know and come and kick your ass. She definitely knows who we're talking about now.
I had a debate with her.
Yep. Anyway. I remember. So angry back girl. Angry anal girl, we'll call her. So she literally came down boasting about the new car she had one time and was taking angry girl and her boyfriend out to lunch. And I think... Justin, well, what about the fucking rest of us? Says, well, this is my money. It's my tuition. I use it how I want. And they left. And there was like 20 people down there like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. That's all. It's only a semi-hard one to think of because there's more in my head that is against it than is for it.
But so basically, the way I'm saying it is like, look, you want to take and give this loan forgiveness, be my guest. Go to the people that you can track. Use it for the educational purposes. Whether they graduated or not, whether they got a job with what their degree was after it or not, as long as the practical application of the money was educationally based, then okay, forgive their loan.
That's actually not a bad idea. If they did something like, say, a 5 or 10 year thing where say, okay, you have this loan out for this education. Fine. You have, say, 3 years to get into a job that is in the field you are going to school for. And while you're in there, you will, instead of having your pay docked or something like that, you know how if you're like behind on payments, they'll dock your pay, right?
Yeah.
Instead of that, we'll say, you're in this position now. We will, what's the word? They'll dock the your loan payment, your student loan, and it'll just take X amount out for this year, for like the next 5 years or so. So if you hold that job in the field you went to school for, over that time period, they'll keep diminishing your loan until there's nothing left. That way, they can't just be like, oh, we don't have to pay anything. Go fucking blow it on cocaine and hookers.
But let's be honest. How many people have we heard go back to college 2, 3, 4 times? They complete it, get a different degree.
Whatever.
But what I'm saying is, so how is it fair for that person then? The person who goes to college gets a bachelor's degree in, let's say, liberal arts. Mm-hmm. I don't really like teaching. You know what? I'm going to go back to college and get a business major. Right. Now they go back and get a business major, but they got all that student debt from the liberal arts bachelor's degree.
That's why, I mean, even before all this, there's so many people that have said, including myself, have talked to people that have thinking about going to college. I'm like, make sure you fucking know what you want to do. Because before the debt relief, it's like, you're going to have that fucking money to pay back, whether you want to do this shit or not if you go to college. So if you get into a degree and be like, I don't want to do this, you have that debt. That's looming over you now.
Yeah.
And this college, the student loan forgiveness isn't like a forever thing, at least as of now. Yeah. It's for this, like, until December 21st or 31st.
How long does it go back?
That I'm not sure.
I was saying, because there's another
I think it's current students, like right now, and you get X amount of cash.
See, so in that instance, then, is it really...
See, that's where my argument of, I went to college, I paid it back, and now you just suddenly you're like, all right, you students don't get that.
Yeah, but but this didn't happen then. No. All those students that went to college, they had to pay back their debt too.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Also,
if they did it like if you went to college, like those class action lawsuits, if you were here or used this material between the years of this and this, you are eligible for compensation. If they did it like that, then okay, I see where you're coming from.
Right.
I think, but yeah, I don't know. If you can like I said, if you can validate how you use the money, educationally based, then yes, be my guest. Because honestly, dude, you're gonna fucking laugh at this one. Do you know, like, a lot of other countries, post education is free?
Yeah. Money. Because it's a fucking scam.
So
that's literally the reason why I have such a problem with the system we're in. Like, because it's a fucking scam.
I don't know. I mean,
you know how you
like
could
I said, if it, I don't know. I guess as much as it would suck to know that I had to pay my student loans back, as long as I can see them actually not going to, hey kid, you went to college, right? Yeah, for 3 weeks, then I dropped out. How much debt did you accrue? Oh, $15,000. Oh, we're gonna pay it back. But I'm not going to college anymore. It's fine. Don't worry about the money. Then that's a little bullshit. But you got the kid that struggled holding 2 jobs. She or he or whatever it is goes fucking off and on college for like 6 years, 7 years. Yeah, a lot of people go to college for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors. A lot of people though go back to college multiple times to finally eventually get their degree. Go for them.
Right.
Help them out. The people that did struggle for 5 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years to get that bachelor's degree or whatever it was they got while pulling 2 jobs and a family or whatever. Help them out. Yes. Help them out.
one way they could use their money that they don't have to spend on tuition is invest in crypto. Biden bucks.
Yeah, I already got like two Biden coins.
A national digital currency.
Yeah. I like how, what was it, a year ago? Oh, Bitcoin, it's not gonna work. It's bad. It's not gonna work out. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, the government was saying this.
Yeah.
The government was saying
a year ago, not even a year ago, I think.
That digital currency is not gonna work. It's gonna crash. It's not volatile.
And now they're making their own.
And now they want to make their own. So the world's reserve currency may be about to go digital, potentially transforming the way Americans move and use their money. On Wednesday, this is from Bloomberg. On Wednesday, the White House directed federal agencies from the Treasury to the Commerce Department to research a number of crypto-related topics, including the pros and cons of a digital dollar. For consumers, the move could mean lower cost transactions and greater access to the financial system, but it could also threaten their privacy and hurt U.S. banks that depend on deposits. You mean it will affect their privacy? Because as soon as there's a digital dollar, every single move you make will be tracked. Mm-hmm. There is an algorithm to every social media platform you're on. Every move you make on Google, there's a reason why you get the ads you get on all these different platforms. Now, when you have a digital dollar we'll say a digital American dollar or a Biden buck in this case, and you go and spend it wherever you spend it, it's completely traceable now. There's no more so garage sailing or.
Let me ask you this then. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, though. I hate to say it, but it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You rob a bank and spend a $20 bill at the local Price Chopper or Market 32 or Lion Mart, whatever area you live in, or Wawa's even. That bill is traceable. It costs a lot of taxpayer money to have an agency track that money to find out where you spent it and who you are.
Right.
But now with a digital currency, I mean...
Well, you're talking about traceable as in physical location.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about traceable as in what are you buying?
Data mining. Basically is what you're talking about. Where they harvest your data to find out who you are and what they want to sell you.
Yeah, I guess. But what exactly you're buying? When you're buying it, how much of it are you buying? Like, where did you go?
Where you treat it like my Google search. Buy random shit from random places at random times.
Airheads, when they ask for a bunch of crazy shit, like a football helmet full of cottage cheese and like pictures of B. Arthur naked. Like, man, I don't know, man. Maybe we didn't ask for weird enough shit. But
such a good movie.
One thing that people are kind of worried with the whole digital currency thing, like our Biden buck, and we were talking about before, like, I don't know if my speech is like going to be that free. It really doesn't. It feels like they're like kind of tightening. Is let's go crazy and say it goes one world government and like there's no more free speech and there's wrong speech, wrong thing. 1984. Now if you piss off the wrong people, they can shut your currency down. Oh, my money doesn't work. Why?
Yep.
Well, because you were running your mouth. We went back on your show. Sorry to bring you down with me, buddy, but
that's fine. Going
we went back on your show, and you were saying some awfully hurtful things.
I want you to take the green monster, the bling, and the bling bling, and roll one. That's not available. I'll smoke it with you, bro. We're going to go to Looney Bin together.
Yeah, basically. But they can shut that shit down and control your currency, control when you can buy things, and that would, I think, go along with the whole social credit system, social credit score, which like China's doing.
Like the whole, did you see that? Did you see those TikTok videos? Get some, did you like Grandma's gift? Why don't you give Grandma a like? Bling! Touches the green arrow up on her chest. Oh, you never saw that video?
No.
And then the woman's trying to get a cup of coffee? Hold on, I'll see if I can find it.
While you look for that.
Yeah.
Our governor, Kathy Hochul, death of a salesman. Woke New York Governor Kathy Hochul replaces word with salesperson in state law and a week after banning the word inmate instead of focusing on big issues like bail reform as a crime runs rampant in the state. Crime has actually like gone up a lot in New York City, but in Chicago and all these blue cities, crime's up like 30-some%. Violent crime is up. I think it was in New York City that violent crime's up like 40-some%, which is fucking disgusting. The amount it's up. But our governor is worried about salesmen. It has to be salesperson. It has to be inclusive. So New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced that the word salesman will be replaced with salesperson in state law. Current bail laws in New York do not require anyone arrested of a non-violent felony or misdemeanor to post a cash bond for release, which complements the overall rate in New York City increasing by 36%. Yeah.
I'll have to find it.
Oh, you lost it?
No, I don't know where. I honestly don't know where I would even begin. I think it was a TikTok. But yeah, basically the video depicts like a little kid. There's like on the upper right chest area, there's a green arrow up and a red arrow down, and under both is a number. And the grandma's got like 700,000 likes or something like that, and like 30,000 dislikes. Well, then it also goes a little bit further into the video where a woman goes into like a coffee shop and says, "Just like a cup of coffee," and the woman looks at the customer service representative, looks at her numbers and goes, "Read the sign." Well, the woman then looks over and sees "does not serve" under 400,000 likes.
Discrimination.
So she goes, "Come on, I've been to like 7 places today."
I see where you're going with this, but
it's a TikTok video and it's like a gag, and I'm like,
it's a gag, but I think, well, obviously that was a point.
It was still a funny video.
Other changes as a result of the decision include all instances of, quote, his or, quote, her being replaced with their, THEIR, in all statuses regarding the real estate industry. Again, which this whole fucking article...
So Des would just be a real estate agent.
Person. It'd be a salesperson, not salesman.
Not who says salesman anymore?
They're getting rid of salesman.
It's a real estate agent.
I always say used car salesman.
A used car salesperson. Yeah. Used car.
The guy can't say that now. Well, in legality.
A used car agent, sales agent.
That sounds like a fucking special agent.
That's what I want to say
James
for
Bond.
everything. I'm never going to call.
No more salespeople. They're agents now.
Yep.
I like it. Yes. That was the weakest woke high five I think I've done in a long time. But unfortunately, many of our states' laws still use gendered language. This is Kathy Hochul saying. Maybe, I don't know. When discussing professions that are practiced by people of all genders. The law follows recent amendments made to the state laws replacing the term inmate with incarcerated person to refer to
agent.
To refer to people serving prison time. That one I don't fucking understand. Like, inmate. Prison reform advocates have said that the term inmate has a dehumanizing effect. Murders are down 10.5% in the city.
Well, that's because 3 million people moved out of it.
Yeah. While robbery is up 39.7%. From 7,642 instances in 2021 to 10,677 in 2022. Grand larceny has seen the largest change of all crimes with a 47.6% increase.
Oh my God.
Good old New York City. Other cities have seen an increase in crime, including Rochester, New York, or Syracuse, which has seen a 26.1% and 23% increase of fatal shootings, respectively. What the fuck? The cities in fucking New York are falling apart. This is the same woman that said everyone that's from New York that's moving to Florida needs to go there to get out of her state because that's where they belong, to like go among the fucking unvaccinated, right-wing bullshit DeSantis.
Yeah.
Whatever you can throw out there. She's like, that's where they belong. Get them the fuck out of the state. I'm like, good riddance. Mind you, as she's saying this on her podium, the fucking city's burning down the background. We're doing just fine here without you.
Everything's fine. Don't look over here. You're good. You're good. You're good. That's
yeah.
Oh, shit.
See, Joe Rogan said vote Republican. It was a tongue-in-cheek response.
Oh, yeah?
There was, on one of his episodes, I can't remember who was on it. It was funny, the whole segment. They were talking about, like, how they changed, like, the way the nation's fucked up right now. And what was said is, this guest goes, so how do we change it all? And just, without missing a beat, Rogan goes, vote Republican. I think
Way to go, Joe.
I think it was a tongue-in-cheek
For once I can
thing.
say that. Let's go, Brandon, and mean it.
It was a tongue-in-cheek thing, but
Oh, I'm sure the left came down.
everyone looked at it and been like, of course the right has been like, look, we got an endorsement from Joe Rogan, and the left is like, he's a fucking fascist.
Oh my God.
I'll do another 90-degree turn right now
Yeah.
into vaccines.
Because we gotta wrap.
Well, into vaccines.
Ah.
Fauci stepping down in December, which he
Yep.
said he was going to stay in for a while.
I should have got vaccinated.
It's all speculation now why he's stepping down.
I wouldn't have had COVID again.
So, yeah, what's that? Twice you got it now?
Yep, I've had it twice now.
All right. So he's stepping down in December.
You've had it twice.
Twice that I tested positive for sure. 3 times possibly the summer before. Like the summer before the actual first time I got it, which is last fall. But then like I just had a head cold, or I'm getting over a head cold. Could be COVID.
Yeah,
I've been coughing up like mucus and spitting it out. Who the fuck
Lung
knows?
butter.
Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that think Fauci's stepping down because of this quote-unquote impending red wave that's coming in November, which there's some people that say it's not going to be a red wave because people get, the right gets lazy. like we said, and they think, oh, it's in the bag. We're fine. We got this. And then the left comes back. Although this Biden speech, I think, is not going to help the left. So it'll be interesting what happens with that playing out.
Oh, yeah. Especially since next year the campaigning starts.
Oh, for president, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because the primaries are November.
Yep.
November 8th. YouTube has removed its mask disinformation guidelines, banning the anti-mask claims. YouTube would say, if you were anti-mask, like if I went on YouTube and said masks don't fucking work, the way they're saying is that you would have a strike. The video would be banned, like just banned, and you'd have a strike on your channel.
Yeah,
misinformation. They removed that from their terms. It gets better.
YouTube is aware of something we're not, apparently.
I heard this first, and I'm like, oh, that's too good to be true. And then I heard people on the left being like, no, it's fact check. It's actually false. So I went and looked, and it is true. And this is interesting. Get ready for this one, buddy. The National Health, or National, whatever the fuck. The National Institute for Health. Now, on their COVID treatment guidelines, on their list of treatments, they have labeled, or on it is ivermectin. There he goes.
Oh, God. You mean the horse dewormer works? Imagine all the hub videos that are going to kick up with women doing things and men doing things with horses now to get that ivermectin into their system straight shot.
But there's more.
Wait.
Oh, he's back. Huh. Vaccine side effects study.
Oh,
they're deemed unethical to up to 98 times worse than the disease itself. This is from Top Scientists published.
Just the side effects.
Yeah.
From the initial shot.
Yeah.
Not long-term damaging effects.
Well, we don't know yet, obviously. What is all this stuff?
Porn.
A team of 9 experts. Hold on. Got to go through the. Account sign in.
Oh, I forgot the tiki sauce.
A team of. That's all right. We'll get it next time.
Yeah,
all right.
time.
A team of 9 experts. This is from. Bright something or other. What the fuck?
It's the government that's trying to prevent you from being able to.
Seriously, every time I bring it up, it just kicks me back out. Well played.
It's your Biden bucks hard at work. I mean, your tax dollars hard at work.
Seriously. All right, you know what? Fuck you then. I'll just search it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Oh, shit. So what's up, viewers at home? How you been? It's been a while. It's been a few weeks. Holy shit.
It has. 3 weeks. Why were you gone? Fill them in on that one. Fill them in on the 3-week absence. The first one we had Rich come over and filled in. So.
That was COVID.
Yeah, you had it.
Then there was the vacation.
Yep.
Then the other had COVID. For the second time.
You all had it for the second time.
Yep. Yep. So that's why I missed 3, folks. I did.
Where'd you go on vacation?
Outer Banks, North Carolina. Awesome time. Fun stories. Couple of real zingers at the end, but you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's another time. That's a fun one.
Why? What happened?
Nothing. Just some, just a disagreement of some opinions, I guess you could say, is the best way to put it. So.
All right. Well, I can't find the article that has like all the numbers broken down. Well, actually, wait a minute. The background: a rapid increase in coronavirus disease, 2019. Blah 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 blah. Oh, that pisses me off.
So what's the basis point of it? What's the basic point of it?
Limited protection. This we already know. That pisses me off. You know what I'm gonna have to do? I know how to get it all. I'm not gonna do it now, but
So basically, they're saying there are doctors out there with scientific evidence that the side effects of the vaccines and the boosters are more detrimental than the actual COVID virus was.
basically, yeah.
Jeez.
This says, well, one of them in the article, it says up to 98. It was like 5 to up to, depending on the person and the vaccine, up to 98 times worse. 98 times worse than the actual disease itself.
Christ. Back to you, fuckers.
That fucking pisses me off, though.
Yeah.
And I can't bring that up because that was like a good top off for that. Anyway, whatever. Fucking live recording. We're not even live. I'll do it on a solo talk and I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
The EU brings up, the energy bullshit we have, the heat wave in Europe and the heat wave in Cali and the water shortage and all the bullshit going on. EU is talking about flattening the curve now by just shifting when they have different parts of the city use power. We're going to flatten the curve for the energy consumption so we don't just go a complete blackout. Where have we heard flattening the curve before? And how well did that work? It's like now they're just using the same cut and paste method of dealing with problems. It's like, all right, it worked well here. Move it over here. And now, like I said, out west, they have like dangerously low levels of water.
Oh, yeah.
And like shit, they're saying in California, they're telling them, listen, when you're not home, set your thermostat to 85, which, whatever, you're not home anyway. Because they're using so much power. Yeah, for AC, they're using so much power. It's just too much on the grid. The water shortage, I said. They found arsenic in dangerous levels in the water in New York City.
Oh,
I just found that one out, too.
I did hear about that.
Yeah. All this shit going on, along with, remember a couple years ago, we had the ice storm in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Again, that just shows you how weak our fucking infrastructure really is.
Jesus. That's fucked up. I know folks at home, too, that live out in Cali.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. What are the last few things here? Maps back in the news.
Yeah, I seen
the teacher.
Yeah.
That defended. Well, don't. It was one of the students is calling. This is on a TikTok video. One of the students is calling the minor attracted people pedophiles, and you can hear the teacher in the background go, "Well, we can't call them that because it's." This is like loose paraphrasing.
It's demeaning.
It's demeaning them. It's offensive. They're called minor attracted persons. The student, props to him, goes, "No, they're pedophiles." Like, yes,
fucking
that's
pedos.
True.
God.
The last
the
thing,
hormone blockers on them.
the last thing here I want to mention.
Puberty blockers. Sorry.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I couldn't bring that up. Anyway, there's a woman that disguised herself as a man. It was, 10 years ago or so? Nora Vincent is her name. And she was an author of a few books. The one I'm noting here was called Self-Made Man. She disguises herself to be a man for 2 years in order to prove how easy it was to be a man. After 18 months, she had to quit due to psychological effects. She started to hate women on how they treated her, thinking she was a man. Wait. She actually started suffering psychological issues because of it, and went through with assisted suicide. Yeah.
Oh my God. So you're telling me a woman decided to be a man.
Best-selling book 2006, Self-Made Man. Yeah, this.
But a guy can become a woman, and in less than a year, become Woman of the Year.
Dave Chappelle.
On that note, good night, fuckers. That's the ending joke. That's a good one.
We just do it better.